Hey beautiful people, how you guys doing? I trust you guys are keeping well. So today guys, I'm going to be sharing a very deep story, personal story about how my family and I got our green card in 1 year and 5 months. It has been a journey of a lot of dedication, lots of sacrifices, faith, and a lot of challenges. But this story that I will be sharing is to encourage you, is to make you learn something. If you're planning to relocate, this should help you in your journey so that it can be seamless and much easier than it was for us at the beginning, because we had to do lots and lots of research. But I believe with my story, you learn something. And of course, who doesn't like gist? I know you like gist. Now let's get right into it, okay? So our story began when my husband got the opportunity to study in the United States of America to further his education for his master's. At first, as a family, we were not sure what to do with that, but we prayed about it and we decided to go for it. And if you all know, if you're a student or an F1 student in the US, your family is supposed to be on F2, which are the dependents. But our case was very unique because on the day of the interview, guys, when we got to the interview, we realized that the document that my husband was supposed to put, or the form that he was supposed to fill to make us dependents, wasn't there. I was so scared because that was grounds for the consular to just throw the file out. But she was so patient, and she started asking me some questions, and she was like, "You're a businesswoman, would you like me to issue your F2, then you can come back another day to bring the documents that is required, or would you prefer for me to just renew your visitor's visa?" Because I already had a visitor's visa already, but it was expired at the time. I was like, please just renew. But deep down, my reason was because I had heard a lot of stories about F2 people, F2 dependents, and how they literally are dependent. And as a businesswoman, I have my businesses back home in Nigeria. I'm a very, very busy person. My mind is constantly busy, so I was quite like I was not going to just sit down and not do anything. Come later, I'll not come out and wait for him. When he comes back, and I had seen a video where one was saying that if you're coming to America, just be prepared to be a house manager. I say house manager. I mean, I'm a woman with so many strengths. My strength is not limited, or my ability is not limited to just being a house manager. I want to be able to do more. I was made for more. I am made for more, so a lot of things were going on in my head. And when we got to the US, that's when we came about. We did our research and we heard about the O-1 for those with extraordinary abilities. When I had extraordinary abilities, I was like, hey, God, oh, they should not say they don't want to give us visa. Because I was like, that was the best way for us to actually expand my business. So yeah, the plan was to be going back and forth. But we know tickets are not cheap, number one. Number two, our son was still a toddler. So how are we going to be carrying toddler back and forth? Do you understand? And being a young family, we had to really think about how to expand our business in the US legally without having any issues. Okay? Guys, this story I'm telling you, please pay very close attention. When I tell you this happened to us, it can happen for you if you just pay close attention, okay? Now I'm going to start by telling you what the O-1 is. To qualify for the O-1 visa, one must demonstrate extraordinary ability by sustained national or international acclaim, or a record for extraordinary achievements in their field. This includes providing evidence such as a major or meeting at least 3 of the following criteria. Number 1, receipt of national or internationally recognized prize or awards, membership in associations that requires outstanding achievements, published materials about the applicant's work in professional or major media, original contributions of major significance to the field, authority of scholarly article in professional journals, a high salary, very important, participation as a judge of the work of others. So that means you judged other people's work, and employment in a critical capacity for distinguished organizations. So basically that means being a CEO or being like a top executive where you work. You know what I mean? Guys, when I read all of that, I was like, you say what? At first, it just seems very complex, like how is that even possible? But when you read in between the lines and try to understand, if you go on the USCIS website, it actually breaks it down. Read a lot. It has a lot of materials that you can use that would help you know if you qualify, because you don't want to rush and just start looking for a lawyer or anything like that. Because the truth is, some lawyers are just looking for your money. They just collect your money and they know you don't qualify and you fail. And that's it, your money has gone. You don't want that. You know, with the O-1, you can't self-petition. So I had to register my business and my business petitioned for me. Do you understand? So you cannot self-petition. So if you're going to go in the O-1 route, you have to get either a business or an employer who's ready or willing to petition for you. That's how you go about it. So because I already had a registered business, so my business was the one that petitioned for me. Eventually, we found the perfect lawyer, and when I had the conversation with the lawyer, they said I was very qualified, and I was like, oh, okay, so I have extraordinary abilities. So we now began the whole process of putting together the documents. I mean, sometimes you might have a lot of achievements, but putting together all of these achievements like in a paper format, I'll put my petition on the screen for you to see. It was over 800 pages of petition, and it has to make sense, you know. So we started to put everything together, and eventually we submitted the petition. We submitted the petition in January, and after 2 weeks, it was approved. I was so happy. Now, why was it approved in 2 weeks? It was approved in 2 weeks because we did what they call the premium processing. Premium processing takes about 14 days. So it took about 10 business days for me. So after 2 weeks, I would just say approximately 2 weeks, it was approved. And when you're approved, you have two choices. Either you stay in the US and, you know, after 3 years, you renew yearly for as long as you want for your business. Like I said, I had to go back and forth for my business. I had to travel back to Nigeria. So there was that part. So that I need to travel back to Nigeria for my business, you know. So when I went back to Nigeria, I was told that, no, before I went back to Nigeria, my attorney told me that I had to go to the embassy to stamp the visa in my passport. Now remember that it was USCIS that approved my petition, right? But the government body that gives you the visa, it's a different body. It's different from USCIS. I was like, oh my goodness. So it means basically that you can be denied. USCIS has seen your documentation. Maybe you are just a fantastic writer, but the embassy gets to see you. And if you call yourself the president or if you call yourself the MD of the MDs, they need to see you talk. They need to see that indeed this person matches the petition. So on the day of when I got to Nigeria, it was very, very easy. You know, I can do a video for how we got the appointment. It was very easy. Unlike if you're trying to get a visitor's visa in Nigeria, it's such a long process. But for whatever reason, it was so easy to get a date for the interview for the O-1. And I went with my son, and that day, my son just decided to sleep. Do you know what it means to carry a toddler for an interview all through? It was hectic, but you know, there was just favor left, right, and center. All the embassy staff were just, you know, so helpful. Before I was carrying a baby, they were, oh, come to the front, come to the front. Don't worry. Remember now, they come to the front and they will not deny me first. Anyways, it was approved. They gave us our visas and they said we should come back about 5 days or something like that. And then we picked up our visa. Fast forward to April, we came back to America. And when we were back in America, you know me, I'm a very restless person. I was thinking, so now I will not expand my business in the US here. After expanding and spending so much money, what if a law comes in and that law says something that America is such a big laws for immigration laws keeps changing. It's not predictable. And I was like, what if something happens? I watched a story of a lady who said she was on L1, and L1 is another type of work visa. And when she traveled, COVID happened, and they only prioritize citizens and green card holders, which is permanent residents. And I was like, she said she couldn't come to her family for a year. I was like, me that I'm going to be traveling back and forth. God, let this not happen to me. So I decided to go about with the EB-1A. EB-1A is it's literally like the green card version of the O-1, right? It's like the green card version of the O-1. So you have to get, but the thing about the green card, the EB-1 is when you get it, you still have to apply for adjustment of status, right? So this video, I'm not going to give you a very detailed breakdown, but I'm going to do another video that gives you timelines, the full breakdown. So if you want to go in this route, please you go and check out that video, and I'm sure you will learn something. Okay. Now, when I came back in April, now applied for the EB-1. That one has 10 different criteria, very similar to the O-1, but it's like the advanced version. So I'll just put it on the screen for you to see, so you can do a bit of research. But it's very, very similar, and it's for those who are in the arts, motion pictures, business. There's also one for professors, which is the EB-1's B. But what I did was for EB-1A, and for business, like I said, I was under the category for business. So all my years of being in the beauty industry paid off. Almost 10 years of work putting together, and it was over 1,000 pages. Yet again, I'm going to show you my petition. Over 1,000 pages of petition. The EB-1, on the other hand, you can actually self-petition, which is a good thing. The O-1, on the other hand, you need an employer to petition for you. So that's the difference. The only thing is that it's a lot more, let's say, harder to get the EB-1 because they know it leads to your green card, right? Yet again, we did the premium processing, because if you don't do premium processing, you can be stuck for 6 to 8 months, sometimes a year, just not knowing what your fate would be, So we did the premium processing, and if you guys want to know how much all of this cost, I can do another video detailing all of that. This is just to share my good news and to tell you how we were able to achieve all of this in 1 year and 5 months, okay? So we came into the US, by the way, August of 2023. So now we're in my story. We were in April ending. So by the end of April, we had sent out our petition. And guys, my birthday is the 6th of May. The petition approval came on the 9th of May. My husband's birthday is 3rd of May. Mine is 6th of May. So it was as if God just added 6 plus 3. Nice. It came on the 9th of May. That's when the approval came. I was so happy. I said, God, this is definitely a sign that we're supposed to be where we are, And my husband has not even finished his, finished his master's, or anything. And I was just happy that I was not redundant. I was, doing something positive for my family. And then we decided to file for adjustment of status, which is for the actual green card. I'm not sure why there is that, because when you get the EB-1, you just expect that, okay, when you get the EB-1 approval, your green card should be in the mail, right? But it doesn't work like that. When you get the EB-1 approved, you still have to do the adjustment of status. That's another payment and another different things that you have to do for your family and everything. So we did that as a family. We filed for the adjustment of status as a family. So when I applied for both the O-1 and the EB-1, I did not get any RFE. So RFE stands for request for evidence. So they may, if they are not convinced about something, they will request for extra evidence, right? But I didn't get any extra evidence. We put in so much work. We did it in such a way that they couldn't question the petition. There was just, before you think of a question, the answer was in the petition. Do you know what I mean? It was very detailed. And my husband is a very, very detailed person. even when we put everything together, he will go through it over and over and over again, even before we send to the lawyer. Because lawyer's work is not going to do all of this for you. You need to put it together. See, if you're listening to this and you feel like you need help, write something in the comments. If you know that you've experienced it, write it in the comment. Let us, rub minds and see how we can help each other. Because, guys, I believe that it is something that everyone should hear and be able to learn something and help each other with it, So please don't forget to like, subscribe, share my content, and, so that YouTube can recommend my videos to people who will find it useful, okay? So back to our gist. In October of 2024, we decided to file for our adjustment of status as a family. So when we filed our adjustment of status as a family, it wasn't even up to 1 week. Because when you file your adjustment of status, you're supposed to get a date for biometrics, right? Before biometrics email came, they sent what they call an RFE, not RFE. For extra evidence is they need something more. But for the adjustment of status, they requested for what they call initial evidence. When I did my research, that meant that they usually send it when somebody's documents, there's something missing, before they even touch your petition or your application. They go through that particular thing, and if you're missing something, they send you the request for initial evidence. So when we got the request for initial evidence, then our biometrics came. We went for biometrics. When we checked the request for initial evidence, it was that it said that our birth certificate for my husband and I was not there. But but we sent it because we kept copies of all the documents that was sent to USCIS. And I also did the research, and I heard that a lot of people said that sometimes you send it, but for whatever reason, it would still ask you for the birth certificate. This time around, we sent everything from our village, whatever, proof for everything was sent. From everything you can think of that has to do with birth certificates or proof of age for my husband and I. They didn't ask for our child, for my husband and I, they asked. So we now sent everything. After a month or 3 weeks thereabout, they now updated a message that they had received answer to the request for the initial evidence that they asked for. Every day I'll go and be checking the portal. I was just reading different stories. Some people 20 years, 10 years. Guys, you're not alone. This channel, we're going to hold hands. Whether it is for getting your papers, whether it is for settling into the country, whatever it is you're trying to do, I'm your go-to girl, Queen Loveth. Always remember Queen Loveth. Don't forget that name, Queen Loveth. So don't forget that name, Queen Loveth. Okay. So in January, it was supposed to be sworn in on the 22nd, right, of January. But I had peace on the inside because I knew that we had come such a long way and God was not about to start to disappoint us. Child of grace, we carry fire for head. So God did it, and we got a message. I was shopping for my son. I was trying to get him some shoes or something random. I was just trying to get my mind off this whole process because it was eating me up. And I just said, let me go and check. My spirit was just pricking me. Check notification, check. I'm such a very spiritual person. And then I now checked and I saw new card is being produced. I was like, are they supposed to say new card is being produced? I'm gonna put the timeline for our process so that you can just see how everything went. And when I saw new card is being produced, this was on the 25th. Then on the 27th, it changed and said your case has been approved. And on the 2nd of April, we got our physical green cards in the mail. We got our green card! I was so happy. Almighty green card, permanent resident. When we saw a 10 years green card for everybody in my family, I was so happy. God is so good. And yet again, if you have any questions, please shoot me a DM at Queen Loveth on Instagram, or you can just leave it in the comment section and I'll be so happy to respond to you. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Please do me well to subscribe again, share my content, and like, okay? And yes guys, bye bye.